I was recently looking for the best USB podcasting microphone for less than about $100. As I looked at my choices in the marketplace, I narrowed my focus down on the FiFine Amplitank Tank 3 microphone, this mic right here. I put it into my shopping cart and I was just about to hit that Buy It Now button when it occurred to me that I've worked with FiFine in the past, and they've always been really easy, great to work with as a YouTube creator. So I reached out and asked if they'd be willing to provide a unit for evaluation and a review, and they graciously agreed and sent this Tank 3 microphone, and I recently did a review of this mic. And the bottom line is I'm very impressed. I think it works well, I think it's built nicely, and I think it provides tremendous value at the price. And my takeaway was, for $80, this is going to be really hard to beat. Well, FiFine reached out to me and said, if you like the Tank 3, maybe you'd be interested in our Profile 3 microphone, which is right here. So we're going to take a look at the Profile 3, which is a desktop podcasting microphone. It sells for the same price as the Tank 3, but it's a very different microphone. This is a condenser microphone as opposed to the Tank 3, which is a dynamic. It looks different, it's built different, and it has better specs than the Tank 3 for the same price. So we'll take a look at the Profile 3 and see how it compares to the Tank 3 and see which one of these might be the better choice for you. So let's open up the box on the Profile 3 and see what you get. First thing I notice is that it comes in a very nice printed box. And same thing with the Tank 3 microphone. Very nice packaging. At this price point, I'd expect a plain brown wrapper. But this is a heavy-duty cardboard box. Impressive. Inside the box, you find a user's guide. And FiFine has done a good job with the user's guide. They're written in clear English with plenty of detailed instructions. The microphone is well packed in foam packaging for protection, and so we remove the top sheet. The contents of the package include the Profile 3 microphone, an attached desktop stand, which is removable if you'd like, and a long USB cable. Let's pull the mic out and take a closer look. Here is the Profile 3 desktop podcasting microphone. It's a bit reminiscent of those microphones used on the desks of late-night talk show hosts. It's a side-addressed microphone, so you speak into this portion right here, not the end of it like you would on the Tank 3 microphone. This is a condenser microphone that is a cardioid, so it's directional, so it only listens primarily to this side and rejects sounds off of the sides and rear. It's an all-metal body. It's rather substantial in weight, and it feels like a quality product. It has an integrated desk stand on it, which is easily removable. You can just unscrew this stand from the microphone mount and mount the microphone onto a standard mic stand, boom arm, whatever you prefer. On the front, there is a large knob, which is a balance control, and that controls your monitoring through the integrated headphone jack. With the control turned all the way in one direction, you're just listening to your smartphone or the computer's audio. With it turned entirely the other direction, all you hear in the monitors are the input that the microphone is hearing, your voice. And there is zero latency. So when you speak into the microphone, it comes through in your headphone monitoring instantly without any small time delays. In many cases where you would send your microphone input to the computer and then back to the microphone for monitoring, you can experience latency and time delays. And if you're singing into the microphone, having your voice come back a few milliseconds later can be a bit disturbing. So with this microphone, you have zero latency monitoring, and you can easily adjust the level of the computer audio the gameplay audio or the other participants in the podcast and your own audio with that control. So you've got a balance control right on the front. Up here we have a mute button, so if you want to mute the microphone, you can just press that, and that button is illuminated, so it'll change from green when the microphone is active to red when it is in muted mode. On the back side of the microphone, you'll find two controls. One of them controls the amount of output from the microphone into the computer, so it's microphone gain. And the other one is the headphone monitoring level, so you can control how loud your phones are when plugged into this microphone. On the top side of the microphone, we just simply have a metal cover. On the bottom side of the microphone, you'll find connections for USB, a headphone output so you can monitor what's happening, and a switch, which is a low-cut or high-pass filter. So let's compare the Tank 3 microphone to the Profile 3 microphone. Right now you're listening to the Profile 3, and I'll put a note on screen as to which microphone we're listening to so that you can hear the differences between these two. My opinion is that they are both excellent podcasting microphones. Obviously, they have different packaging. The Tank 3 is an end-addressed microphone, whereas the Profile 3 is a side-addressed microphone. The Tank 3 is a dynamic, whereas the Profile 3 is a condenser or capacitor microphone. I think they both sound excellent. And then there are some differences in the USB functionality. But before I get into that, one of the great advantages of the Tank 3 for me is that it has both USB output as well as output that can be used with standard audio interfaces, 3-pin XLR balanced audio output, whereas the Profile 3 is a USB-only microphone. When it comes to the USB interface that's embedded in both of these microphones, there are some differences. With the Tank 3, the interface supports standard audio sample and bit depths. So this will do 48 kilohertz sampling at 16-bit depth, which is industry standard, whereas the Profile 3 supports that, but it also supports higher bit rates and bit depths. The Profile 3 can do 24-bit recording with 192 kilohertz sample rate, allowing for ultra-high fidelity sound. Now, when we take a look at the features between these two, there's a lot of similarities and a few differences. Both microphones have level controls for the audio output level and the headphone drive level, and both of them have headphone outputs built right into the microphone. The Profile 3, however, has the control on the front of it, which is a balance control that lets you monitor either the audio source from the computer or the output of the microphone itself with zero latency. So you can monitor yourself with the Profile 3 microphone very easily. The Profile 3 microphone includes a low cut filter or a high pass filter to get rid of rumbling background noises. And I'm going to engage that filter so you can hear its impact right now. Okay, so this is the sound of the Profile 3 with that low-cut filter engaged. And you can hear that it cuts out a lot of the lower registers of my voice as well as any rumble noises in the background. So it's a pretty impactful low-cut filter. That feature is not available on the Tank 3 microphone. I'm going to turn that filter off and go back to normal mode again. Both of these microphones, being directional microphones, will exhibit some proximity effect. So if I get close and close talk the microphones, you probably will hear that the bass has come up a little bit, giving a thicker, richer sound. And maybe that would be a little bit excessive in some people's cases, in which case the low-cut filter on the Profile 3 could mitigate some of this behavior. And you can also listen to the propensity to pick up popping noises from plosives when I speak those P words when I'm close talking the mics. Here's the sound of the microphones when I back up a little bit and I'm back a few feet from the mics, and you can see that they're both pretty effective at that. Let's take a listen to the side rejection. Here's the side rejection of the Profile 3 microphone as I move around the side, and I come back to the center, and now we'll switch over to the Tank 3 microphone, and I'll move over to its side, and you can hear its ability to reject noises and sounds off of the side. So what's my verdict? Well, I think they're both really great podcast microphones, and they come in at the same price point, so it's a bit of a tough call. If your needs are only to use USB output, I think the Profile 3 is a compelling choice if you like this package style. On the other hand, if you want a microphone that can be used for USB connections as well as standard audio interfaces, I find the Tank 3 to be a great microphone, and it's very flexible in that regard. And at about $80, I think they both represent outstanding value. Now I'd like to do a quick test with the Profile 3 microphone being used with a smartphone. So I'm going to turn off this fancy video recorder and put up my smartphone and do a phone-based recording using the Profile 3 microphone to show you the kind of impact you could have by adding a good microphone to your phone. A lot of people are using their smartphones to capture video, and right now I'm using my smartphone to capture this clip with the Profile 3 microphone attached to it to level up the audio. I could have used the Tank 3 as well. They both work perfectly well with a smartphone. Let me switch the microphone here over to low frequency cut. So that does take some of the bass out of it. Maybe it makes the recording a bit clearer sounding, but I think I prefer this microphone in the flat position. But I certainly prefer having this microphone attached to the smartphone when doing these productions, because I think it really makes a huge impact on the sound quality. So I'm going to unplug the Profile 3 microphone right now, which will cause the phone to switch over to its internal mics. Like so. And now you should be hearing the phone with just its internal mics sitting on a stand a couple feet away from me. So this is the quality that I would get without having the microphone attached. And I think that having the external mic makes a big difference. The FiFine Amplitank Tank 3 and the Profile 3 podcast microphones. I think both of these microphones represent excellent value, coming in at about $80 a piece. And which one is the right choice for you depends upon your particular preferences and needs. I think either one would be a great choice for a lot of people. If you're interested in either one of these products, I've provided purchase links down below this video where you can go and check out these products. And I appreciate when you use those links because that helps support this channel. I'd also like to express my appreciation to FiFine for providing these microphones for evaluation and review. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it entertaining and helpful. And you choose to like and subscribe and come back and watch more.